Way too many e-commerce brands are doing keyword research like it's 2018. That's why their Google Ads strategies scale for 2 weeks, then suddenly collapse. In this video, I'll show you the keyword strategy for 2026 that actually works with Google's algorithm and not against it. Because honestly, on a surface level, it doesn't look like much has changed. I mean, the overall keyword planner tool, it looks the same. If we go inside, look at how to do the searches, even this section is the same. So even though with all of these AI updates, with all of these new features Google Ads now has, keyword planner tool on a surface level is the exact same as it was back then. But in the background, smart bidding evolution has changed the way users are now interacting with the algorithm. And as a result, Google no longer relies just on exact match or phrase match or any of those things the way it used to before. It now understands intent on a cluster-based approach and not just by a string of individual keywords. And before I actually go into the keyword research strategy for 2026, on a top level, here's what you want to understand. There's 3 major types of intent which your algorithm now drives traffic towards your brand. There's the high buying intent, there's the medium buying intent, and then there's the low buying intent. For high buying users, I classify these as the people who actually want to buy right now. The medium quality people are those people that are more in the consideration intent base, and they're not really sure whether they want the product right now or if they want it in the future or what product they actually want. And on the lower side of things, these are the people that are essentially in the research phase. They're researching about solutions, they're researching about potential products out there that can give them what they want. So with these 3 major buying intents, Google has also evolved with it. And before, back in the day, it would be as simple as just going on Google search platform and just typing in maybe a major keyword like buy a relaxing chair for work, for example. This would be more than enough to now go towards the right kinds of keywords, find the perfect approach for your brand. But now, most users are not, first of all, even relying on Google's actual searches to find their product, because now with softwares like ChatGPT, Claude, and so on and so forth, you have the ability to directly chat with the robot and figure out exactly what are the options out there and what suits your needs more. But at the same time, users have become a bit more smarter in the way they're researching, because that kind of approach they've been using on Claude, on ChatGPT, they're now integrating within Google, within the way they're interacting with Google. And as a result, your entire strategy needs to adapt with it, because higher intent keywords are now filling up the overall searches that you can find within the keyword planner tool, for example. So the initial keyword strategy with Google, the way it has become now is to, number 1, identify which buying intents your brand is going after based on the campaigns you are trying to strategize around. So right now, if your main goal is high buying intents, because let's say you have a majority of performance max campaigns or standard shopping campaigns or even search campaigns going after individual landing pages, the main goal here would be to go after buying intent keywords which are designed to make your customers buy right now. So for instance, in a situation like that, if you were selling ergonomic chairs for the office, then just doing a simple search on the keyword planner tool for a product like office chair, for example, would lead us then to individual keywords which are, number 1, more likely to be high buying intents, but number 2, more closer to the actual relevant traffic that you are trying to go after with your brand as well. Because the key with Google in 2026, it's all about relevancy. Now, back in the day, if this were the exact strategy we were going after, step 2 would be to essentially go through these keywords, figure out which keywords have higher monthly search volume versus which don't, and then basically implement those keywords with higher monthly search volume within your landing pages, within your product titles. But right now in 2026, this is one of the worst things you can do, because the thing is, these keywords are more designed to go after how Google was working pre-AI pandemic, meaning before all of these softwares were in place, before all of these different bots were in place. Now, it's all about, number 1, doing the research, and number 2, on the right-hand side, refined keyword section, actually using this as your best friend to figure out what is the most relevant type of traffic you want to go after. Because if you click right over here, you can see under brand or non-brand, first of all, Google is giving you the ability to go after each individual brand within these keywords. So if you uncheck all of these brands, now instead of 1900 different keywords, you will only be able to see a select few keywords which are not brand related. And of course, you want to have certain keywords in here. You want to basically play around with this list. But this is where you are now going to get closer and closer and closer towards your perfect ICP. Because again, the last thing you want to do is keep things broad and to go after basically thousands and thousands of keywords, which you originally would have gone after. Now, after you have found out the generic kind of approach you want to take with these keywords, next step is to go a bit granular and to go after, for example, chairs. In this situation, you want to go after those specific keywords which your chair actually relates to. So for example, if your chair is not a mesh chair, or if it's not an Aeron chair, or if it's not an office stool, for example, those are the keywords you want to start unchecking, and you want to do this on a case-by-case basis as you go deeper and deeper into the funnel. So for example, if your chair does not have any sorts of table that comes with it, if it's not recliner, etc., you want to go in and only choose those specific boxes which your chair actually relates to, because it's all about getting as granular as possible with step number 2 for the higher buying intent traffic. Because what this is essentially doing is it's essentially allowing us now to select those few keywords which all of our smart bidding based efforts will go after. And the main goal now with smart bidding, by the way, for your campaigns, it's at least the same thing we do for a lot of the brands we work with under my Google Ads agency, which, by the way, if you run a brand making $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, scan the QR code on the screen right next to my face, or click the first link in the comment section below to directly schedule a call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together to scale your brand profitably to the very next level. But essentially what we are doing now is focusing on those higher intent keywords with this approach, so that when it comes to bidding, we can have lower restrictions for those keywords. We don't need to bid extremely high. We don't need to go after these very strict bidding strategies, because the thing is, in 2026, the stricter your bidding strategy is, the harder it will be for Google's algorithm to find your perfect customer. Because let's be honest, right now with all of these AI softwares, with ChatGPT and whatnot, ranking for those auctions and winning those auctions, it's more expensive than ever before, because the top level of these auctions, they're so focused, they're so direct towards your perfect ICP that there's very little guesswork needed. And because there's very little guesswork needed, your competition is going above and beyond with the bidding. And we don't want to just bid high to win these auctions. We want to be a bit more lenient with the bids, but we want to win on the product feed strategy side of things. Hence, why we're taking this extra step with the keyword strategy, and we're going a bit deeper into finding the nitty-gritty keywords which actually relate to your brand and our products the most. So this is essentially the second step. We're scouting for the intent around those keywords which we want to go after, and making it as exact as possible with these keywords, because this is taking 50% of the hard guesswork away from us. The second step, by the way, while we are scouting for these keywords, while we're adding all of these individual barriers from the top, is to scout for negative keywords. This is the third step of the keyword strategy for 2026. It's no longer about just finding the right keyword, then putting it on a list to put in the product titles, descriptions, etc. Because now it's about scouting through these keywords and at the same time figuring out what would be a good negative keyword to add to our top line for our campaigns. Because keep in mind, negative keywords is what guides the algorithm towards the right direction. And again, even though we're adding all of these barriers on the top level, you will still find those keywords essentially that are not really related to your brand or to what you want to rank for. For example, desk chair near me. Now, this might be ideal for a brand that has a local store in an individual location, but on a broad level, this is not an ideal approach to go after, because it doesn't really lead to a person wanting to buy online or wanting to buy at this point of time from your brand. So these are the negative keywords you're trying to make a list of on the side as you're trying to scour through for the right keywords you want to add on the back end. And by the way, in terms of the keyword research strategy itself, you want to keep it very straightforward, very generic. You don't need to go too in depth into this. Essentially, anything with average monthly search volume of above 50,000 individually is the right approach to have in 2026. Now, if you're in one of those niches where the keyword search volume is very, very small, in that situation, you want to be above at least 1,000 minimum search volume for each individual keyword. But on a broad level, if it's at this level where it is a lot of keyword searches, 50,000 and above is ideal. You can have a little bit on the lower end as well, around 10,000 if there's only, for example, 5 or 10 keywords at the top that are above 50,000. But on top of that, the second step to proper keyword research with Google Ads in 2026 is to look at the 3-month change. Now, generally, I used to look at the year-over-year change, but this has a big kind of up and down gap, and so many months go by with this metric that it's no longer a viable metric to look at, because if you look right here, year-over-year, it says 173% change, but in the last 3 months, this is on a decline. So this lets us know that, hey, maybe this keyword right now to incorporate is not the right keyword to go after. But looking at the 3-month change, and of course, looking at a secondary metric, year-over-year change is ideal. And that's all you need to be looking at. Forget about looking at a competition, at impression share, top of page bid. None of these are important at this point of time, as much as just the 3-month change in general. But beyond that, what you're trying to do is we're trying to find the 3 major buying intents. Again, it's the high buying intent traffic, the medium buying intent, and the low buying intent. Because after you do this research, you will have a big pool of keywords which you can now choose from. And now the final step in order to incorporate those keywords into the right landing pages, into the right campaign approaches, is to then identify which are the high buying intents versus the low buying intent versus the medium buying intent, and put all of those keywords individually in the appropriate approaches. So for example, these right here at the top are high buying intent keywords because they go after literally the keyword and the product that we are selling. So for instance, desk chair, ergonomic chair, best office chair, these are what I classify high buying intent. So I would put this in the pool of high buying intent keywords, and only the landing pages or the product pages which go directly to a product page that is related to these office chairs is where I would have these keywords. Those product titles, even the Google Merchant Center backend attributes, is where I would have these keywords. On the other hand, something that's more on the medium buying intent side of things, such as comfiest office chair or great office chair, or for example, top rated ergonomic office chair. These are keywords which, yes, can lead to a sale, but ultimately the main person searching a top rated ergonomic office chair ultimately doesn't know what chair he wants. So in a situation like that, we would classify them more on the education-based type, more on the medium buying intent type. These are perfect now to put on a landing page, which is like a blog page. Top 5 chairs, where yours is number 1, or how to choose a best chair or a blog page, and then this keyword goes within it, so on and so forth. And then on the other hand, you have the lower buying intent keywords, just for example, this keyword X Chair 9, because this is a brand keyword which is already talking about another brand. And if you don't sell an X Chair 9, and oh, by the way, this is in a big decline downwards anyways, so that's why it's a low buying intent keyword. I would put it in the low buying intent audience pool. But in general, if these are the keywords that you see, this is the negative keyword list or the low buying intent keyword list, because these are people which may want to buy or which may not want to buy in general, but more leaning towards the latter portion of the audience. So in a situation like that, you want to basically get rid of them and you want to save your ad spend and save your money. But ultimately, once you have these 3 pools created, it's again a matter of just putting each individual keyword or category of keywords within the pages where it makes sense. And on the top level, this is how you want to approach keyword research, and not on an individual case-by-case basis. So to kind of recap, this is exactly the strategy we're using again for the brands we handle in my Google Ads agency or marketing. But step 1 is to start with a generic idea in mind of the keywords or the product you want to go after. And again, the broader it is, the better. From there, step 2 is all about refining your keywords, allowing and guiding the algorithm towards the perfect pool of audience, which should be the closest pocket of the audience to your perfect ICP, because from there, it's then about identifying the 3 major pockets of the audience, the 3 major pools, as I like to say, the high buying intent pocket, medium buying intent pocket, and low buying intent pocket, and then scouring through these lists, finding the right keywords with the right keyword search volume, and putting them in each individual of these lists, which, by the way, I do recommend you have at least a minimum of 5 to 10 keywords per list, because from there, that will give you a generic idea of what needs to be implementing on which landing page, because now it's all about grouping and focusing based around the buying intent of your audience and based around the targeting that you want to do on a top level. This is going to lead you towards your perfect ICP at a much faster scale. It's going to allow you to add a lot more efficiency without wasting ad spend and without sacrificing your ROAS every time you try to scale your revenue with Google Ads. But again, if you run a brand making $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, scan the QR code on the screen or click the first link in the comment section below and directly chat with me, and let's see how we're going to potentially work together to make all of this happen.